There's a lot you can learn from Out of the Past.
Welcome, everyone, for another episode of Out of the Past. I am the Martin County Historical Society Curator, Jim Marushin, and with me, as always, our Executive Director, Lenny Tvedten. Lenny, what's up today?
Well, we're going to talk about a very interesting interview, but first of all, what do you have to bring that you're going to show us today?
Well, I ventured far north to the town of Truman, Minnesota. Here we've got a wonderful milk bottle from the Truman Creamery.
Oh, those are the days, yeah.
Yeah, nice cow on there.
They're often delivered right to your home.
Right to your doorstep, that's right. From the 1995 homecoming, Jayhawks homecoming. This is from the People's State Bank of Truman. So I don't think that was regulation size.
I don't think so. But I think their football team was in the state tournament one year, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah, probably around that time. Here from the Truman Farmers Elevator Company, we've got something that says, "Be a good egg, attend the annual meeting." You know what that is, Lenny?
Almost looks like an ashtray, but I'm sure it's not.
No, this is an egg yolk separator.
Really?
Yep, egg yolk. So you'd put your egg and you'd keep the yolk out and let the whites go down if you were baking. So I'm typically on the eating side of things, so I don't really know how that works. But and this is actually a good advertising piece. If you look these up on Google, you'll find all sorts of ones from different communities with the same basic shape and color. So
interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. And then, made in 1898, we've got a wonderful antique rug made by Alice Croswell from Truman, Minnesota, with really interesting homemade design, and you can see how she kind of made the back there.
Wow.
Yeah. So, wonderful history from Truman. Lots of really good things.
Made by one of the rug looms that we have in the museum?
It very well could have been.
I don't know.
Yeah, or something similar to that.
Sure.
So, yeah, this is really great. And speaking of really great, I believe you did a great interview with Glendon Olson recently.
Yeah, very interesting. He had a lot to say. His store, of course, he's retiring, and it was sold, actually.
Sure.
So, yeah, let's take a look at it.
All right, let's do that.
There's a lot you can learn from Out of the Past.
I'm here with Glendon Olson of the Good News Bookstore and the Pioneer Museum, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the bookstore. Good news, but we have a little bad news, Glendon. What's the story on that?
The story on that is I've had the store for 47 years, and I'm not a young guy anymore, so it's probably time to start thinking about retirement.
Well, that's subjective. You know,
yeah,
you're not a young guy.
Yeah. So anyway, decided to close the store. So that's the bad news part of it. I was thinking about advertising it, and PhotoPress has only good news, so I thought, oh, how do we do that? We can't put this on the front page that we got bad news. But anyway, we'll talk about the good news in just a moment or two as we proceed through the other questions.
Okay, good enough. When did you actually start? You said 47 years ago. What year was that?
That was 1978 on June 15th. So actually, it's exactly 47 years ago yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've had it for a full 47 years.
Was it a religious bookstore prior to that when you took it over?
It was. In 1946, a man by the name of Dexter Collins, he was a pastor of the Assembly of God Church, and he started, as best I know, started some of the churches in the Assembly of God churches in the area. And so he started it then in 46, and I got it in 1978. So I actually had it longer than he did, but he was, as best I know, 88 when I bought it from him. And he did an unusual thing. He says, "Do you want to see me stand on my head?" And I said, "Sure." So he got right down on the floor there in the store and stood on his head.
At age 88?
Yep, at 88.
Wow.
And I decided, I'm not going to do that.
No. Well, here's your chance.
Yeah, well, I think we'll forego that now, too. I probably need help getting down and getting up.
So, Since you've taken over as of 47 years ago, what are some of the major changes you made?
Oh, let's see. First of all, the building was kind of in bad shape. Not just kind of, but it was in bad shape. The roof was kind of like a sieve. So every night when I went home, I'd cover the product with the plastic. So in case it rained, things wouldn't get spoiled. So we've done a lot of fixing on the building over the years. And a lot of the inventory was really dated at the time when we got it. So I think we sold hardcover books for maybe $0.25 and paperback books for 10 cents.
Wow.
And people went out with bags of books.
Times have changed.
Yeah, it has, sure it has.
Well, with the digital age now, have you seen a lot of changes since, computers, reading books online, things like that?
Yeah, and it's hard to distinguish whether it was the digital stuff with the iPads or whatever they call those, and actually the internet coming where people would order on the internet.
Sure.
So it's I don't know what percentage was digital or what percentage was ordering hardcover or hard copy off the internet, but it's changed a lot.
It has, sure. What do you feel were some of your most popular items throughout the course of your ownership, and has it changed from the beginning until more current?
Yes, there have been kind of seasons of things. One thing that we had for a period of time was Yankee candles, and we sold a lot of those. And then it kind of phased out, and so then we had another popular book. It was called Jesus Calling. It was done by Sarah Young, and it has probably been the most popular single title that we have ever had. And a lot of people have been blessed by that book.
Sure. Well, good. Okay, the stores, what did you enjoy most, or if you could identify one or two things that you really thought were enjoyable over the course of your ownership, what would that be?
It's fun to have a job that you enjoy going to.
Right.
And so I enjoy the people, and I just enjoy doing the things that you do to run a business.
Sure.
I like to play with the numbers and things like that, but the other thing that I've really enjoyed are the employees I have. They're super, and they've been so helpful. And if I decided I wanted to be away for a little bit, they said, "Oh, go ahead. It's fine.
Sure.
You deserve it." So that's been a real blessing to me.
Well, the store you're closing, have you made an attempt to sell it, or what's the status right now?
Yes, we're in the process of selling it. We're selling the building as well as kind of the name, but the name will change. It'll be Good News Collective. And a young couple from Fairmont here has purchased that. And so they will kind of, I think, have some of the things that we've had. I think they'll have some books and some Bibles, and I'm not sure what else. I'm not completely sure of their plans. We haven't really talked much of those details yet. But I'm sure they would be able to order some of the things that we've had that maybe they don't stock, but they would be able to order them and get them.
Right. Well, that's good. That's good news on top of what.
Yeah, that's the better part of that.
Great. So if somebody's wanting to go into retail, especially like a bookstore, any advice you give them?
Yep. How I got into this was really interesting. Dexter wanted to sell his store, and he announced it at a ministerial meeting. And I didn't know about this until about 10 years ago. So when I was considering buying a business, I was looking at hardware stores. And our pastor said to me, he said, "Well, what about a bookstore?" And I just kind of thought, that was the last thing on my mind. And so anyway, Dexter said, "Well, there's so many ahead of you." And then finally he got down to say, "Well, you're next." And he decided to sell it to me. So how that all fell in place, I've been thinking about a verse that's on a coffee mug that I use. And the essence of it is, a man makes his plans, but the Lord directs his steps. And so I have seen that both in purchasing the building or purchasing the business, and now that I'm retiring, that same thing has happened. It's just like I've trusted the Lord, and the Lord has just done all of the things that needed to be done to make it happen.
We make the plans, but we don't necessarily carry them out the way we see them. Hey, Glendon, we kind of touched on this, I think, earlier, but what actually prompted you to make the decision to retire?
Okay, so we were gone for a couple months this winter, and we got back, and the things I needed to catch up on, I just go, maybe it's time for me to consider doing this. So that was kind of the trigger for it. I really thought I was probably going to do it for a few years. Some people told me I should go for 50, but I guess I'm not going to do that.
Not until 88?
Not till 88, no. Oh, I had somebody tell me, quit before you're 88. So I said, don't worry, I will. And so I guess I'm living up to my word on that one. Yeah.
Well, what about when you finally close the door and walk out? What do you plan to do? Or do you have any big plans for your retirement?
Well, it's going to be a big change, that's for sure. And so I've told a few people that, I've got projects that I haven't done for 47 years. Mm-hmm. I think that'll keep me busy for a while. Then I was talking with my wife this morning, and she says I'm making a list, so I'll be busy for a while anyway. Yeah,
you'll be in retirement, but work mode.
Work mode, yeah.
There you go.
So I'll be getting my exercise, I
Sure.
think. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Glendon, and thank you for your years with the Good News Bookstore. It's something that has been a really important thing for Fairmont and Martin County, and we appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Lenny. It's been a privilege to be with you today, and I thank you for this time. And, a lot of stores, they say, have a good day. But I like the different expression to their day, to our day, when I like to say to our customers, the Lord bless your day. So anyway, the Lord bless your day, Lenny, and thank you for this time.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
There's a lot you can learn from Out of the Past.
Well, Lenny, that was a great interview. Ton of history, downtown business, Good News Bookstore. Seemed like Glendon was very knowledgeable about not just his business, but that whole area.
Yeah, the Good News Bookstore has been in existence for many, many years, and he's owned it for 40 plus years. I don't remember exactly what it was. Another interesting thing was that we did the interview right in the lobby there of the elevator, which has been newly designed, so to speak, by you and Donna. So congratulations on that. You guys did a good job.
Yeah.
And it was just an ideal place to do an interview with a store like that. So
Yeah.
Glendon said he's sold his business, he's retiring, and got a great history of that business. So wish him good luck, all the best. And I think he jokingly said that he'd take the first hour and relax, and then he'd be back at doing whatever he does.
Well, wonderful. So I'll definitely wish Glendon the best in retirement, and thank him again for sitting down with us. And thank you all at home for tuning in and watching, and we hope to see you again on another episode of Out of the Past.
There's a lot you can learn from Out of the Past.